Morning everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. That's going to be the red R towards the bottom right. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to remove and clean the encoder on an Ri4000. Now if you guys have any error codes, need some assistance, please don't forget to start a case with the technicians, get some troubleshooting with them. You don't want to avoid any kind of warranties. Alright, so like I was mentioning, we're going to go ahead and take out the encoder from the Ri4000. The first thing we're going to do is release our carriage. To do that, we're going to go to our display panel. We're going to go to our maintenance menu. And we're going to select regular maintenance. We're going to select ink and then cleaning. That's going to shift your carriage over towards the center of the printer. Okay. Now that the carriage is over to the center, we're going to go ahead and lift the top cover. And we're going to power our unit down. To do that, we're going to hold the power button for about 45 seconds. We're going to get a prompt to shut it down. We're going to press that prompt twice. Once the screen here turns off, and so does this little blue button, we're going to go behind the unit and we're going to turn it off from the back switch. Some of the items you're going to need to do this are going to be some shop towels, some lint-free wipes, a Phillips head screwdriver, and some alcohol. 91% works the best. Okay, the machine's about to turn off, so I'm going to go to the back and I'm going to turn up that switch as well. Okay. Next, we're going to remove the holding bracket that holds the encoder in place. As you can see here, it's right above this rear rod holder. It's going to be a little blue screw. I'm going to get my screwdriver and I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to grab both of the sides of that bracket with my nails, if you have some, and just pull it out towards me. Next, I'm going to grab some shop towels. I'm going to grab 2 towels here. And I'm going to place 1 towel above the rear rod, but under the encoder. So carefully put it down there. We're doing this to prevent any grease from getting onto that encoder once we remove it. So we're going to put 1 here on the right side, and I'm also going to place 1 on the left side. Okay, now that I got those in place, I'm going to release the tension of my encoder by pushing towards the right on this tensioning bracket right here. So little stainless steel plates. So I'm going to push this towards the right, and I'm going to unhook my encoder. When I do that, I'm going to make sure I grab my encoder from the solid part, not from the mesh part. Okay, now that it's released, I'm going to go again towards my right side, and I'm going to release it from that mounting pin. Okay, once that's released, I'm going to carefully pull my encoder out from the left to the right of the machine, keeping my encoder as straight as possible. You don't want to bend. You don't want to bend or damage this encoder. Okay, so now that I got my encoder out, again I'm holding it from the solid part of the encoder. I'm going to get a lint-free wipe. I have a little spray bottle from alcohol, so I'm just going to spray a tiny little bit of alcohol on there. And I'm going to wrap my towel around the encoder. Now keeping my towel nice and straight, not putting too much pressure, I'm going to pull my encoder up past the lint-free wipe. Now we got to do this a couple of times, maybe around 3 or 4 times. And you don't want to, again, put a lot of pressure on this. Just gently squeeze the encoder and pull it right through the towel. As you can see, mine's fairly clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and reinsert the encoder. When reinserting the encoder, you got to make sure you get that notch on the encoder. And that notch is going to go facing down, and it's going to feed from the left to the right side of the machine. Now on the right side of the carriage here, there's a small opening. It's going to be a little rectangle opening. That's where we're going to feed our encoder through. That opening right there. Okay, if you feel your encoder touching something, pull back on the encoder a little bit and continue pushing it in. As you can see here, I'm holding the edges of my encoder. I'm not holding the center of it. And I'm keeping the rest of my encoder up with my other hand to prevent it from getting caught on anything or bending while I'm doing this. Okay, once I fed enough of my encoder through, I'm going to reach around and see if my encoder has come out over here on the left side, which it has right there. I'm going to carefully pull this out, and I'm going to reattach it onto that little pin. Keeping slight pressure or light tension on my encoder, I'm going to grab it again from the solid part, and I'm going to reattach this onto my tensioning bracket, like so. Next, I'm going to go back towards the right side of the machine, and I'm going to grab my mounting bracket. Okay, so your mounting bracket has a little slit right here. That's where the encoder goes into. So carefully, I'm going to grab this from both ends. I like to use 2 hands like this. Gonna get it into that little slit. Make sure it goes into my centering pin here. And I'm gonna reinsert my screw. Once I have a small amount of tension on my screw here, I'm just gonna give it a quarter turn more, and that should be enough torque to hold that in place. Now that's in place, I'm gonna remove my towels by pushing down on them and pulling them out from the inside of the machine out. Once those are out, I'm going to close my cover. And I'm going to turn the machine back on, first from the back switch, and then from the front. Alright guys, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the link below in the comment section. We'll get some more videos started for you guys. Thank you and have a good day.